I've been meaning to check this out for a while. This is a very old Jubilee video. It's like 3 months old or something like that. And I saw it like, I don't know, like a month and a half ago. Excuse me. And I've been saving it because I knew it was going to come in clutch at some point. But while we're on this topic, we got an episode of Spectrum. Is it okay to have a preference of race? Interracial couples agree or disagree? This is going to be interesting.
The freak stuff in the bedroom.
Okay, I need to turn the gain down because they definitely had the audio guy working that day.
If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like
how would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
What? This is gonna be interesting, especially following the last one.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner. 3,
Wow.
2, 1, go.
I mean, it could happen, I guess.
I've definitely been ignorant.
So we were.
I wrote it down.
So we had an argument, and I was upset, and I had previously expressed how the stereotype or the stigma on angry black men or angry black women and how that makes me feel. And so we got into an argument.
Yikes.
I was an angry black man.
Yikes.
But in that moment of anger, he actually called me an angry black man.
Oh,
which
no.
Which is like the worst thing to
made me
say.
go crazy because that
that.
that was like the one thing, and I talked to him about. So, that was a really bad fight, and it never happened again.
Right.
I would
feel like-
imagine.
I mean, I'm strongly disagree,
That's all I
but I think as just a white person, I am just inherently ignorant. So I think I'm gonna move to somewhat agree. Dating a black man has completely opened my eyes more than I already thought they were open,
To be fair, you've never said anything that made me feel like, damn, she's racist,
I'm from the Bay.
Be like that.
So it used to be in my vocabulary where I would say the N-word with the A. I would rap it. I would do just those things. But my slang and
That's a very Bay Area thing. Like, you see that all the time, honestly. Like, the first time I saw, like, Asian Crip rappers saying, I was like, wow. But, like, over there, that's just normal. That's just how it is over there. So I get it.
in general would just
I'm guessing he
tick
changed
her
his
off.
ways.
And then I became conscious of it, and I really liked her. Or I still do, of course. I love
I was
her.
about to say, huh?
I started changing the way I speak. I feel like she should be over here too. She would do
Yikes.
Asian accents.
Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, man, she got a pocket. She got a pocket.
The only time that I feel like I could be offending Asian people is when I'm mocking you when you're mocking your mother.
Okay, maybe she wasn't completely out of pocket now.
So I only
get
do
the
the
context.
accent when he does it, making fun of his mom. Before that, I never did that, so.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna do something different. This is called hot takes, and
This is a cool video so
basically
far.
our audience submit hot takes and assumptions that they make about interracial relationships. They're really hot.
Oh, boy. I feel like I already know what the first one
Get
is.
steamy.
Okay, that's
since
definitely
you are
not what I was thinking.
interracial.
That is not what I was thinking at all.
Play the one
Not
that
even
goes,
close.
Dance with the boogie, get down.
Not
Okay.
even close, bro.
I mean, I think it adds to.
I like the
appeal.
differences between us. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Ooh, brother. All right, man.
Definitely. I mean, there's not like any weird role play or anything. But yeah, definitely,
That's crazy.
makes it fun.
I will say, like,
Word.
when I'm not with you, people will like be like, oh, like, I know why you're with the black guy. And it's like, that's like super disrespectful, because it's like, that's like definitely like on the line of like fetishizing like
Right.
a race.
There's not many sexual stereotypes about white men. But like walking down the street, especially dating an Asian woman, like I get looks from men all the time. Being like, oh, like, right? And like people like actually like calling me out while I'm right next to her.
Interracial relationships can be be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too.
That's a definite no, bro. That's weird energy, bro.
Even if you love the person, you just fetishizing that person is
feel like it
good at all.
devalues
Yeah,
it.
and you're devaluing the entire community in itself.
I think there's always
That's
room
weird.
for growth, so I can understand if it starts as a fetish and then along, the relationship, they actually fall in love with that person and they realize that, okay, it wasn't okay for me to initially just like you based off of that.
If it's between
valid.
two consenting adults, the freak stuff in the bedroom, if race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like, it's just in the bedroom, or is it like possible to just keep it in the bedroom?
How would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination. I'm not lying.
It doesn't even matter if you're consenting or not, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want
Yeah,
to
I
say
think it's
that
weird
stuff,
energy,
you want to
bro.
do that stuff because of the stereotypes you have of those
Mm-hmm.
people. And that doesn't really sit right with me whatsoever.
I have always wanted mixed babies. 3, 2, 1, go.
At one point in my life, I kind of wanted to have mixed babies with almost every race. I don't know if that's weird.
I feel like if you gonna do
But
it, bro,
I just want-
if you gonna do it, that's how you gotta do it, bro. You gotta really just add some more variation to the world, bro. We need diversity for real. Good for you, man.
I'm real into genetics. I would like to see how my kids would turn out in
Every race. As a mixed race person myself, you don't have a group of people to really be around. I mean, sometimes you connect with one side, sometimes you connect with another side, but for me, it sucked actually a lot. I've accepted myself. I'm black and proud. I love the fact that I have both of these cultures and I really don't care. I just have to teach my kids that because of your skin tone, you either gain privileges or lose privileges.
Like I've had people at work, like we'll be talking about ourselves and I'll show them a picture of Ivan and they'll be like, oh my God, I totally wanted black babies like when I was like a teenager. And it's just like, this isn't Build-A-Bear, like, this is a human.
That's mad
Like,
weird, bro.
so.
And I actually have an 8-year-old mixed child. It's been very challenging, but I've had to stick it out because I want to be a good father and I care about my kid.
This isn't Build-A-Bear, this is real life. And in my mind, I wanted to have kids that was exactly my skin tone or very close to it and look like me, because I am conceited as well. Where the hell I'm gonna find somebody to do that and it work out and they're just the perfect wife?
I feel like he a YouTuber.
I don't believe in that
Low
anymore.
key, I feel like I
It's
seen
funny
him.
because that was actually something we talked about when we first started dating. That became an insecurity of mine. I was like, so why are we dating? Because I cannot provide absolutely any of that for you. And so I understand, like I said, why he feels that way, why a lot of the black community feels that way. So I'm just glad that I'm accepted now in our relationship for that.
I sometimes feel like I betrayed my own
This
race.
one's gonna be interesting.
3,
I
2,
cannot wait to hear the takes on
1,
this.
go.
Wow. Wow. So the real question here is, what does this say about black culture? That's the real, cause look at this, bro. Look at the divide here, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
It be like that.
I definitely feel like that, man. I feel like, especially where I'm from, I did my people a disservice by playing into that stereotype. And knowing what I stand for
Yikes.
now, it's hard for me to feel like I'm gonna be taken serious in the future if I ever wanna speak on controversial topics. My people won't respect what I say because like it doesn't add up, my views and stuff, and then I'm dating somebody outside of my race behind the scenes. I feel like I lose respect in a way.
Me growing up, like I was never always seen as black, whether it was because of how I looked or how I talked or my culture. But then when I get with someone who's not black, right, they're like, oh, you're betraying us. Oh, like I get comments literally in my DMs being like, oh, Alex, you're not with us no more, right? And I'm like,
Wow.
do you want me or do you not want me, you know? It doesn't bother me if you don't want me, and I understand it is what it is, but don't pick and choose and don't nitpick little things, right? If you want me to be part of your community, then accept me for who I am. Don't say that I'm all, oh.
I don't know what he mixed with, but low key, especially with this fit, the turtleneck, he looked like that picture of The Rock from like, what was it, like high school when he had the fanny pack and a chain and a turtleneck. He literally looked just like him, bro.
Because I'm half, I don't get to participate in certain
She do
topics.
too, because
or
she got a
certain
turtleneck on too,
discussions.
low key.
being linked to another race has its benefits. 3,
That's
2,
wild.
1, go.
This is interesting.
I guess I feel like the word like linked kind of confused me because I feel like experiencing another person's experience, like what their culture,
like how her
like
name
the
is
way that they
spelled.
live is definitely personally beneficial. But I think that like in terms of how others view me because I'm dating a white man, I don't find that beneficial. Like I feel like people might have like preconceptions about who I am because I'm an Asian person who's chosen to date a white man. Yeah, I had a question for, I guess, other people. Like, do you ever feel like being with a white person like could shield you from like discrimination, or like that they could like stand up for you in a certain context? Like if you were in like an altercation with the police or something, like would having a white person there, like, right? It would be helpful.
In that sense, and that's what I kind of thought of when I heard the question and I was listening to you. It's just like, I don't know, even a customer service experience. I don't know, just random experiences where the person on the other side might judge me based on me being black, but versus someone else calling, or him calling, and it's a whole different experience. So they might treat us individuals differently. So there might be a whole different experience based on just that.
Valid.
I feel like an outsider with my partner's family. 3.
Hopefully we don't get
2,
any agrees, man.
1,
Because that
go.
would suck. Okay, we got a few. It be like that.
So I'm sorry, Grace. In our lives, especially today, recently, politics plays such a huge part in it.
Yo.
And because you come from a conservative household, it does, that's different from where I come from. And it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to know that I'm gonna be meeting people and have to have close relationships with them, and they don't value what I feel like I value in my life.
He's actually the first black man I have ever dated, and the only person of color within like my family, just in of itself. And so certain members of my family, with the same political values as us, like had to kind of confide in me like, hey, we support you with whoever you date, like we're here for you. So it was interesting to kind of see the different sides of my family members that I didn't necessarily know.
When I met her father for the first time, we were walking to get food and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents, but Ronald Reagan was like, he's like the main reason why black people are incarcerated. He's not a very good person to black people. So I was just kind of cracking up about that, and I was kind of awkward, and I know you kind of bit your tongue on that as well.
Yeah, it was hard to not say anything.
But I was thinking about saying something to maybe like be like, oh, I don't know about that, but I didn't want to like argue with your father on the very first day that I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun. Yeah. I don't know if I can exactly truly connect with him because of that. He's a very nice person, obviously, and he makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time I have to recognize who I am as a person.
I would say I somewhat agree because with my partner's family, there's a language barrier. So
see, I could understand that.
I guess it's my responsibility now to try to learn the language, but sometimes when we're together, they're talking, I have no idea what's going on. So I think that's a bit of why I feel like an outsider, but other than that,
it'd be like
I feel
that.
Welcome.
That's very understandable.
I wish we were the same race.
I should see straight
3,
disagrees, bro.
2,
straight
1,
disagrees.
go.
Yes, sir. Don't even think about
I
brother.
feel like,
Come on, bro.
That would just be the default easiest way to navigate through life. But definitely, obviously, growth happens when you're in interracial relationships. But yeah, that's kind of why I chose somewhat.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it, like you were saying, like I just feel like it would be easier in some aspects, and then for me, just like being mixed race, I have felt very like disconnected from my culture, so I feel like dating someone who was like Chilean or who was Korean would help me. But I also agree, like obviously if you weren't white, you wouldn't be like you, and so I don't like wish that.
Exactly.
And
the benefits
That's why I say
outweigh,
straight disagrees.
like
bro.
what I gain. It kind of sounds weird coming out because it's like, what do you guys get out of dating white people? But like, white people, I feel like we learn a lot.
I think it's interesting that everybody's saying that they feel it's easier, because I feel like it would be more difficult, me having a black man and raising a black family, that it would be more difficult if I was maybe with someone who was white, who could probably have benefits in other ways. I'm grateful for my husband, and I love being with him.
W couple.
And I think there's a lot of benefits just culturally.
And you guys, that is officially a
This was a cool episode. See, I'm glad I checked this out, man. I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting.
We also got you some really cute merch.
Oh, nice.
That's hard, bro. How much did you get?
Thank you.
I don't even remember
Oh, thank you so
seeing that
much.
merch.
Really cute.
But then again, that is from a while ago. But this was a W episode, though. It was definitely a little bit weird. A little bit. But still cool, though. Shout out to Jubilee, bro. They don't